Hi guys, welcome back to my channel as told by Muriel. I am Muriel and I'm a registered nurse of almost 2 years. Prior to, I was a licensed practical nurse for about 18 years. Sorry it took so long for me to come back with another video. My daughter had to actually let me know it's been 2 weeks. So she said, since I made the last video, some of you know that she appears with me on a couple videos on my channel, because this channel is not just about nursing, it's about life, being a woman, some of the things we go through. I've done a couple things in the last couple months and I didn't video any of it, like little vacations I've taken. Went to the casino back in, I think it was November, and I had like a girls Christmas pajama sleepover just over the weekend. It was our first ever. It turned out real nice, and I was thinking to myself, you should have videoed this. I haven't gotten used to videoing everything I do. I don't think that's something I'm going to do either. I see a lot of people, they kind of pull out their camera or their phone or whatever and start recording everything they do, and I don't think that's something I'm going to do. But anyway, on the last video I told you guys that I was going between 3 different schools in order to receive my BSN, and I finally made a decision, and I was going to share that decision with you guys on this video. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 3 schools and what finally made me to make the decision I did. So sit back and enjoy. Okay, I attended a technical college for my associate's degree in nursing, and I didn't attend my graduation. It wasn't because of, this pandemic that's going on. I actually graduated in 2018, but for me, I graduated as a PN. I'm a practical nurse back in 2001, and I went through that whole ceremony. And really, the associate degree nursing, which while I was proud that I was graduating, it was really the same type of graduation as when I got my PN. And so I personally didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I did show up the day of practice, and I was dressed in, the all white that we were supposed to wear. And I did that just to take pictures with some of my classmates, some of the girls in my study group. We just did little photos or whatever. So I showed up to the day of practice and kind of just waited for practice to be over. I didn't attend practice. I just kind of waited for practice to be over. And when it came out, we just did a few photos. But the actual day of graduation, I didn't attend. Another reason why I didn't attend is because, well, like I said, the PN graduation was basically the same as the ADN graduation. What I really wanted to attend was my BSN graduation. I had gone to a friend's BSN graduation. I think it was back in like 2016. And that was a different experience for me. I had never been to university graduation, and I just thought that was that was a different experience for me. I thought it was so nice, to actually attend a university graduation. And I said, oh, this is something I would like to do. I would like for my kids to be able to see me actually, graduate from a university. I just thought that was everything. And so I said, well, I'm not going to worry about my ADN graduation. And then I didn't want to turn around and have my family come for the ADN graduation and then have to turn around. What my plan was within that next year and attend the BSN graduation. So I said, I'll just wait till I get my BSN, have my kids, my family, everybody come attend that, because, I didn't want to I don't live in the same city. Well, now some of my family live here in this city, but a lot of my family is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, hour and a half. Yeah, even though it's not far, but I didn't want them to have to come, for within a year to 2 separate graduations. And so I said, well, okay, I'll just wait for my BSN for my whole family to come see me graduate, because I would have been the first college graduate, I believe, let me see, as far as in my immediate family and my mother's children, and then me and my sister's children as far as a university graduation. So as time went on, I enrolled in a BSN I did the application and everything for a BSN program. So one of my choices, which is Claflin University, it's a university in Orangeburg, South Carolina. They have a R in the BSN online program. It's for about a year, but you can do it part-time. It'll take you a little longer than a year, maybe a year and a half, but my goal was to get in, get out. I was going to complete it in a year, and I was going to graduate in 2019. So my mind was to end this in HBCU. So I was like, oh yes, this is, definitely going to be the school I attend. I did everything, sent transcripts, did everything with that. And I decided I was going to wait to start because at the time my son was also enrolling into college. He was enrolling in UNC, University of Charlotte, and I didn't know how I was going to go with finances, with me paying for myself for school and paying for him as well for school. And so I said, well, I better not put that burden on me until I know exactly how much money will have to come out of my pocket. Because at that time, I was a brand new RN graduate, and so I wasn't making like big bucks or anything. I was making okay money, but I wasn't making big bucks. But I didn't know how much he was going to get as far as a Pell Grant and any of that, and how much I would have to come out of pocket for him. And so I decided to put my schooling off for another semester, which would have been January of 2020. And so he went on to college or whatever, worked that out, ended up paying a lot of money for him for one semester. He stayed on campus. Well, then, the pandemic hit. So he came home around March, and I told myself, okay, well, he decided for the fall of 2020, he wasn't going to go back on campus. He was going to, do online schooling from home. And so it made his tuition and everything a lot cheaper, and I wasn't having to pay as much out of pocket. But by that time, I had already started looking into other schools, looking on YouTube, researching different schools, just to see, what else was out there. Because since I was already delayed in starting when I planned to start, for some reason the prospect of actually going to attending the graduation, it just became less and less appealing to me. I don't know why. I just started to not even worry about attending the graduation, and that was my main reason for going. Other than it being an HBCU, attending the graduation and having my family attend was one of the main reasons why I decided on Claflin University. And so, like I said, as time went on, I was like, do I really, is that really what I want to do? So I started looking into other schools, and I started looking on YouTube, and I came across two more schools, WGU and Capella University. Okay, these schools are into BSN totally online as well, except they're a little different. With WGU, it's a self-paced program, as well as Capella, a self-paced program. From what I researched, they're both nationally accredited, and they're both regionally accredited, which regional accreditation to me was so important. Our instructors at the technical college drilled into us, if you're going to attend a college, make sure it's regional accreditation, because that's very important, more important than national accreditation. And so I was like, okay, I found out they were regionally accredited. I looked into the programs, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. It's self-paced. It treats you like adults. It doesn't set your pace on when things have to be turned in. You kind of do it on your own, and your tuition is based off of your semesters you attend, not based off of per credit hour. And so if you're there, I call it a semester, but it's broken down into weeks. And I think, I know Capella is 12 weeks. It's a certain amount, which I think is like $4,000. And WGU, I believe it's the same. I think it's like 12 weeks, and it's, I think, $3,500 or $4,000, somewhere around. It's competitive prices. So I was like, well, that's kind of appealing, because, not that time, I was worrying about time, because if it takes me a year to complete the program, I'm fine with that. But to know the time it takes will determine the amount of money you pay, that was like, oh, okay, because I already knew that Claflin was going to be around $9,000 for me to attend. Even though I will receive financial aid, I will receive some financial aid, and I do plan to apply for some scholarships to help me out. There is no cost based on terms. It's just flat out going to be like $9,000. It's not no, if you finish this work at a certain amount of time, you may only pay $4,500. And so that appealed to me for WGU as well as Capella. Now, there has been some talk about people saying WGU credits are not transferable, this, that, and the third. They don't give you a letter grade or a number grade. They give you like a pass fail. And there are some universities, if you plan to go further for your MSN or for whatever master's degree, they may not accept WGU's credit. I've heard on some places say that they do. I heard some that say they didn't. I didn't want to even have to go through that. Not to say I plan to go further for my MSN, because it actually, after work, you're out there and working, I was like, do I even want to go for my BSN? And what sealed the deal for me to get my BSN is I have a son, he's 16, and he is autistic. He is going to need around-the-clock care. He's going to need someone to be with him at all times. He's pretty self-sufficient on a lot of things, but he's not self-sufficient on other things. And at this time, I have, my children are like, my daughter, she's 17. She's about to graduate, so she'll be leaving to go to college. I won't let her go to first semester. I'm going to let her take some like technical school classes, but only for maybe 2 semesters, and then she'll be going off to college. My son will be back in college, enrolled and staying on campus at the time. One of my kids is in Pennsylvania, and then my oldest daughter, she works. So I was thinking about, okay, with a BSN degree, I can probably find an at-home, work-from-home job, or even an office job that will allow me to bring my son to work with me. Because I don't trust people. I'm just going to be honest. I don't really trust people with my son. I'm not going to trust to hire anybody to come in the house and work with him. If it's not my children looking after him, I'm going to want to have my eyes on him. And so I was like, well, you get your BSN degree, that'll be better chances of getting a job working where you can have an office and you could possibly bring your child to work with you, or you can have better chances of landing a job, at home job where he can be at home with you, so you don't even have to worry about that. He's 16, so he can go to school up until the age of 21, but it's those after school hours that I was going to need to have someone with him. So I'm trying to get things set up to where I can be at home or with him to keep an eye on him, and still work and be able to pay my bills and still be able to help pay to get my kids through college. So, so that's the reason why I would get my BSN. But yeah, WGU was appealing. And Capella, I've looked at a lot of videos on YouTube. I spoke with the counselor and everything, and I was like, okay, so the way they're to set up your self-paced, you get your assignments, you turn your assignments in, you move on to the next class. You're able to do 2 classes at a time. I think the least amount of classes you have is 8 classes if you're transferring in enough credits to fulfill their requisite courses or whatever. And, you just go through the program like that. And if you are the type that you really going to focus, you can knock it all out in that first 12 weeks and you only pay that $4,500. Or if you want to take it for 24 weeks, take it out for 6 months and pay, $9,000 or whatever, even though, financial aid to be helping me out a little. And over time, the cost would end up being more than Claflin, because say I take it out for a full 9 months, well, we're going up into the 12,000s or whatever, but it's self-pay. So I have that opportunity to knock it out in 12 weeks, which I've done some research, and some people have knocked it out in 12 weeks. Some people have knocked it out in 6 months. So yeah, that was very attractive. And then to find, like I said, they are regionally and nationally accredited. So I was like, cool. Okay, so now I have these 3 programs. Now I'm leaning towards Capella, but I had to do a little bit more research. So I spoke to a classmate of mine, a friend of mine who lives up here, who did the Claflin, and she told me something, y'all, and it just totally just blew me with Claflin. And this is specific to me. This may not be to you guys, but this is specific to me. She was like, Muriel, it's very doable. They help you, the counselors help you, the instructors help you. She said, but you have group projects. And when she said group projects, I was like, skirt, group projects? No, ma'am. I am not the one for group projects, and I know that I am not the one to be relying on anybody to do any part of any work for me to get a grade. I don't like having to wait on people. Like some of y'all might have heard me when I was an LPN. I quit a job because I don't like asking people to do things for me because it wasn't within my scope to do it. It wrecks my nerve, and it will wreck my nerve if we have something that's supposed to be done by a group and even one person say, I'm not able to do this. I apologize. Y'all, that will piss me off because that puts more work on the next person. And then she said, you're in to have a group project just about every class. So that alone was it for me for Claflin. They was out of, like, I didn't even consider them no further. And did everything, sent transcripts, did everything. Resume letter, the goal letter, did everything. But when she told me them group projects, that was it for me. Okay, WGU, I was like, I was considering WGU. It was sounding very, like, I follow a YouTuber on here who went to WGU, and, he gave rave remarks about it, but for some reason that the fact of having problems going to other schools and transferring their credits because they're pass or fail. Now, they may give a letter grade as well. Or GPA. I don't know. I didn't find that out. But just the fact that there may be any type of problem with transferring credits in case I decide to do my MSN now. It's not guaranteed that I will, but just in case I do, I don't want those problems. So just that alone, like, it wasn't anything that the program had to offer as far as the program itself, but just the fact that I don't want to run into any issues, that knocked it out the box for me for WGU. Now I have a friend who's enrolling, and I will talk with her because we talk all the time. So I will talk with her along the way to see how the program is going for her, and I'll get back with you guys about it. So y'all, Capella it is for me. January 11th. I sent my transcripts in today, and I'm pretty sure that I will only have to do the 8 classes because I took so many prerequisites for my ADN with the thought in mind of going for my BSN. So I have so many prerequisites under my belt already, enough to where I got a dual degree. I should only have to do those 8 classes. They'll let me know because one of my schools sends resume by mail. So hopefully I will know before the end of December or by the first week of January what classes I have to take. There are no group projects. There are no discussion boards. It's just basically papers and videos. From what I've researched, you do videos of yourself, and you do papers. I can do a paper in my sleep. Now one thing, I can write a paper in my sleep. I'm not always good with APA format, but I can do papers. I can do a video, as you can see. The fact that I don't have any group projects and any discussion boards, that was like a win-win for me. So yes, I will be starting Capella in January. My goal is, I want to complete in 6 months. But hey, if I complete it in 12 weeks, I ain't complaining. I just know I'm out here working, and I may, it might be a week that I don't want to do any work, and that's just fine because there's no due dates. So if I decide this week I don't want to do any work, and then next week I want to just knock out 4 to 5 papers, I can do that. And so yeah, guys, I am an older nurse. I am in my 40s. I'm not I have a family. It's not every week that I'm just doing 36 hours. I'm still paying for my son's tuition. Now I'll be having to pay for my tuition. I will be applying for some scholarships. Hopefully I get some. Hopefully my son gets some. Like I said, I have a 16-year autistic son at home. I still have to buy groceries, so it's not just me. So it's not just I have time. Everything in my household has to be together so where I can actually sit down and type up a paper. So I will let you guys know how it goes. And yes, this is my video, my decision on what BSN school I plan to attend, and then hopefully in the next 6 months I will be talking to you guys about I would say an MSN program, but just thinking about yeah, just thinking about is, you know, yeah, hadn't made any final decisions yet. It's just a thought. So guys, I will talk to you later. I'll catch you on the next video. Happy holidays, and everybody be blessed.